Well, the fact of the matter is the head of medicine here at Hospital Hardly Hope, they suggested that we start pushing this new prescription called Stop-A-Flu. Yeah. Well, I know I spoke to the rep earlier today, and he was amazing. The bonus on this thing is outstanding. I am going to be able to take a vacation to Cancun as well as Hawaii this year. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. God, I love being a doctor. I'm telling you, the bonuses are outrageous. Yeah, no, he said it's going to be top of the line. It's supposed to be amazing. Oh, you know what? Actually, looks like my next patient's about to come in. So let me make sure I'm clear. So the head of medicine for the Hospital Hardly Hope has said that we need to go ahead and push Stop-A-Flu. Yeah, no, of course. We'll make that quota, no problem. Oh, great. Yeah, here comes somebody now. Yeah, great. Oh, so looks like you came in as an emergency today because you had like flu-like symptoms.
Well, it doesn't feel like flu-like symptoms. It feels more like those are the side effects of the prescription you gave me last time I came.
Well, no. Let's talk about what you're feeling. So you had said body aches.
Yeah, I have body aches, but I noticed that it was soon after I took this prescription.
It is flu season. So it's in full swing right now. Did you have a fever at all?
I mean, like a slight one.
So that's also a flu-like symptom. Listen, I've got a.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it because it felt like an infection. Because like my throat feels scrapey and like my ears hurt.
Flu.
Yeah, it's more like a cold.
Flu, yeah.
Because I can't.
Flu.
I can't sense any. I don't smell anything or
I'm
taste
pretty sure it's
anything.
the flu, yeah.
But it felt like the cold I had last year.
Yeah, the flu season was last year as well. Flu.
But I didn't have the flu then. It was just a cold.
Yeah, the flu. So there's this. The good news is, listen, I'm actually in a bit of a rush.
But I'm just asking because it felt like it just happened no sooner than I took those prescriptions you gave me last week.
What?
And they didn't seem to help at all.
I've never heard of side effects from that prescription looking like the flu, so it's pretty much the flu. I mean,
but that's what I mean. Maybe it's not the flu.
So we're gonna go ahead and treat it as though it's the flu, because it's the flu. So fortunately, there's this great product available now. It's called Stop-A-Flu. I was just talking to the rep earlier today, and it is amazing. Stop-A-Flu.
But how if I don't have a flu? Will it do anything? I mean, what are the side effects to that?
Side effects, according to the rep, nominal. I was just talking to the guy, great guy by the way. I was playing golf with him yesterday and we were talking about it, and he said that the side effects were nominal. So yeah, hardly noticeable. So
what are those side effects?
Your pharmacist would go over those side effects to look for you.
No,
but the nice thing about the Stop-A-Flu is that it will knock this flu out. Flu.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just wondering because. But if it gives me bad, should I just, since it's just a flu, shouldn't I just wait it out?
You could, soup, yeah, soup.
Or some ginger.
You stay away from Google. That's just a dangerous precedent. So the Stop-A-Flu, it will knock it out within a couple days. Honestly, the feedback I've gotten is a lot of the patients are saying 1 day later they're back at work and feeling great. So why stretch it out?
Well, I mean, just thinking, won't that just help me if I can just, if I just go home and have some soup and maybe a little bit of ginger and honey and stuff, just trying to maybe.
I'm sorry, ginger, the honey.
Well, because I was told that could help too, and I just wanted.
I never.
You said the flu. And
I never said ginger and honey.
No. I have a friend who's really into.
Oh, your friend? Yeah, with a medical degree.
No.
Medical degree.
I'm just saying, I'm just not feeling good, and I feel like.
Stop-A-Flu, and your friend, do they have this piece of paper right here that says?
Speaking of that, she told me to ask you, I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
What was your grade point average when you got your license?
There was so much going on, hard to recall specifically, but got that doctorate, so it was that medical degree.
I mean, did you ace your test?
got the degree.
Yeah,
So
but
that's what,
do you have to be aced in order to get the degree, or can you get a lower grade and still get?
well, you just have to know the material enough, which I obviously did because I got the degree. So.
Yeah, but see, I tried that one stuff she was telling me. It was this concoction, and it seemed to help me a little.
Concoction.
But it did seem to help a little.
But not get you there, huh? Not like Stop-A-Flu. I'm telling you, Stop-A-Flu is amazing. It's top of the line. It just released this year, and they were just done with clinical trials. And
Dr. Killer, I just wanted to say that I just feel horrible. Look, I'm falling apart.
It's pronounced Killer. Killer.
Oh.
A common misconception, Killer. Oh my. So as it stands, I happen to know more than your friend on this topic because so Stop-A-Flu, we're gonna go. Mary, let's go ahead and write a script for the Stop-A-Flu. yeah, number 4 for today. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get that Stop-A-Flu into your system, and now you'll feel right as rain.
Like even it's bothering my vision. Would that be the
flu? Yeah, vision.
Really?
Flu, yeah.
And sometimes I get like the strawberry earache, like if there's an infection.
That flu depends on the strain. So many strains of flu.
So if it's so many strains, how do we know if that one's going to help this?
The Stop-A-Flu is like a atomic bomb against flu. All flus will fall to Stop-A-Flu.
Really?
Yeah, here at Hardly Hope Hospital, we've been actually giving it out to all of our patients, and just been getting nothing but great feedback. Right, Mary? No, it's just Mary. It's okay.
So, but I guess I'll take it.
You've made the right choice. Stop-A-Flu is amazing. If it's not working, after 48 hours, we can write you another prescription for Stop-A-Flu. We'll try it again. Go round 2. Yeah.
But if it didn't help.
No, you're great. So make a follow-up call with Mary. Mary, make a follow-up appointment. No, I'm golfing with Brad that day. No, not that damn. Yeah, that's fine. I'll rearrange some stuff. We'll see her then. About a week. We'll see you in about a week.
Really? I just, okay, because I feel a little dizzy.
You're going to feel, that's the flu for you. Feeling dizzy.
Really?
Yeah, flu.
Okay, and then like my lower back also hurts.
That's a flu thing, right? I mean,
Really?
geez, that, especially when you get that strain that hurts your lower back, Yeah, the flu.
Yeah, because sometimes when I stand up, like I get a head rush really
The flu,
bad.
yeah, the flu.
Could it be that I'm low on iron?
Oh, the flu. Yeah, low on iron. That's a flu thing, if ever heard of. Stop-A-Flu will help with that.
Really? Okay, so you think that'll help with
Oh, sure. Stop-A-Flu is amazing. It's going to help with that.
Okay.
Tell your friends, Stop-A-Flu.
Stop-A-Flu?
Yeah, for the flu.
I just don't think it's a flu.
It's got to be the flu. Sounds like the flu.
Really?
Yeah, let's go with the flu. Let's treat the flu first.
Eyes?
Yeah, flu.
Okay, I if you say so.
Flu.
Is there a way to
Flu?
know? Okay.
Is there a way to? I'm sorry.
Is there a way to know, like, what your? I'm trusting my life in your hands, and I don't want to harm myself. I really got to start listening to my body. And every time you give me stuff, I just seem to get worse.
I'm listening to your body for you. I'm not sure why you feel like you also need to. Your body is saying flu, so we're going to do Stop-A-Flu for you.
Okay, but I just. Okay.
Flu. Yeah, flu.
Should give me the prescription.
Yeah, Mary, get the pad. I'll write it up real quick. Oh, I've already got 6 already pre-written? Great, just give her one of those. Yeah. Flu.
Hi, this is the Lourdes and Chris show.
This gorgeous breath of fresh air right here is my wife, Lourdes. She's absolutely amazing in almost always. I'm trying to think, what way is she not? What way is she not?
It better not be no way.
No, hang on, I'll think of something. What way is she not? I don't know. I got nothing. She's amazing in all ways is what I'm trying to essentially say here. And I am more excited than an actor on opening night.
Ooh. No, opening night as an actor is so like nerve-wracking and exciting all at the same time.
Especially right before you go on stage, right? One of my favorite parts of the theater department was before we were to go on stage. Hold on. Yes, okay. So before we were to go on stage, it was just one of those things where it was like, right before I went on, blah, 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 and it's kaboom, and it's go time. And you got nothing. You got no choice but to be in it then at that point because you
Yeah,
got to get out there.
because you're just in it, and then you just go, and you go, and
No,
you just
absolutely. I
kind of get lost in it.
kind of missed that actually. Probably should get back into some live theater productions. Yes, well, looks my thus being scared. Yes.
Well, and this is my husband, Chris, who I love with every cell of my body, with every part of my soul, because he is just an extraordinary, loving, caring, amazing husband, friend, co-worker, right, co-host, co-everything. Yeah. And co-creator, co-everything.
Co-conspirator.
So I really get excited every time we go on, to do the show, to do something different. And this week we really did, and we enjoyed it. We did.
I did. Yeah. Just look like this week we're going to talk about. Somebody reached out to us and said that they didn't know the difference between a naturopathic and holistic and doctor and blah blah blah.
There's all these. Yeah. What's they want to know what the difference is?
Right.
Yeah.
And so
why is one, more listen to more than the other?
Well, I tell you, the thing of it is that Lourdes has made no secret of it, ladies and gentlemen. She's out there getting her naturopathic practitioner license.
Yeah. Certification.
Sorry, yes. And so this means that she is like really primed to talk about what that means to be a naturopathic doctor. I can tell you what it means to be a regular doctor, or I've never been, but I can sort of see.
Well, we can tell because we go to
the observation. Yeah.
Who hasn't gone to a doctor's office and not know how they take care.
Well, okay, so let's unpack it a little bit.
Yeah.
So to be a regular doctor, and I don't like that word regular. Let's see that through.
Okay, to be a
we call it allopathic.
Yes, to be an allopathic doctor means that they look at symptoms and then they look for something to give you to suppress the symptoms.
Yeah, so an allopathic doctor is like you go into to say, I've got this problem.
What was it? Was an internal medicine doctor, a family doctor,
Sure.
a pediatrician. Sure. In other words,
a medical doctor.
Yeah, what they call conventional medicine doctor.
Sure.
Conventional used to be natural, but not anymore.
You go to see them and you say, I've got this ache in my whatever, or this skin thing or whatever, and then they go, oh, what's good for that? Steroid cream. That'll and then
if you have pain here, take a couple of ibuprofens.
Pain, ibuprofen is the way to go. We've got some pain medication that can help you with that. And the thing of it is that it's not really what medicine was ever meant to be.
Yeah, because it's not about I have this problem, give me some so I don't no longer feel it. Because why did the problem happen? And that's where naturopathy doctors and practitioners come in.
Right.
They don't look at, oh, you have a headache, let me give you something to get rid of the headache. Why did the headache happen? Let's look at the root cause, if you will. Let's find out what's going on in your life. Let's find out what your eating habits, what's happening on and around your body that's causing that. Because we're a whole body. And so it looks at the whole picture, and then they start addressing that. And they go, okay, sounds like a little stress. Let's see what we can do working on the stress level. Or, sounds like you have too many sugars or,
I would say one of the big differences between a allopathic and naturopathic doctor is the allopathic doctor, the guy you're going to go see in the emergency room or the urgent care or even your family doctor that you've made an appointment to go see. They're not interested in your full history.
Well, they're not interested. They're interested in your history as far as does cancer run in your family?
Oh,
does
sure. I'm sorry. Yes,
diabetes runs in your family? Like
what I mean to say is they don't want to know what you've had for breakfast last week. They don't want to know.
They don't want to know that in your family, you guys. The reason why you guys all have diabetes because you got this, sugar.
No, in fact, on the contrary, they subscribe to the thought process that these sort of diseases will run in a family, and that's very common. We were surprised with some of our research to learn there are some like new norms, right? Like fatty liver disease, for example. When we were doing some research, that's considered normal by doctors.
Normal just means, and I want to make sure we're real clear on this. Normal doesn't mean that it really is normal. Normal just means that if as time goes on, we're having more people with heart attacks or more people with, fatty liver or more people with high blood pressure, or if they check your blood levels and the normal used to be here, but now pretty much everybody's here, it becomes normal. Not that it is, it's just that's where they get the terminology as normal.
Yeah. Now our good friend Doc Newsom was the one who kind of brought that to our attention that they're considering that normal. When a naturopath doctor like Dr. Newsom or Robert Scott Bell or a few others that we know that are
Amazing,
that are just
amazing
amazing
doctors
and out there at the
that
forefront.
really care.
Honestly, they would find out someone has a fatty liver and they'd say, "Oh, no, let's
Address that.
let's address that. We need to take care of it."
Yeah, and why is it there? What are it could be alcohol or sugar drinks or a bunch of bread. I mean, even bread and crackers, all those things do break up to a high sugar.
Right.
It's finding out what's your diet like, what's your life like, what's your stress
Well,
like.
that's what I meant earlier by a naturopathic doctor does want to know the full scope of what's going on in your life. A naturopathic doctor will, for example, know that the reason why you're experiencing some sort of a health opportunity is because of a long-term something that was in place. And they play detectives in a certain way because they want to get to the bottom of what that was.
Root cause.
Yeah, exactly right. The root cause.
Yeah.
So the root cause. So
Talk about the root cause, man.
yeah. So they want to know that, and they want to allow your body. This is another difference between the two. A naturopathic doctor understands intuitively that your doctor will cover a symptom and not let your body heal, and doesn't say that your body can even heal. A lot of times, a conventional or a allopathic doctor will be quoted as saying something like, "Well, there's no cure for that."
Yeah, there's no cure for that, or it runs in your family, or well, you are up in age, and
that is common for someone with
at your age, or that's typical for women, or that's typical for men. And it's funny because you'll meet these people that are the opposite of that. They're older, but they have this great health, never been on medication, all that. And then you find out, well, they've never been on medication. They don't even take as much as over-the-counter medication. They're always doing natural things to kind of take care of things, and they eat very, very healthy. And I don't mean I have steak and potatoes and vegetables. That's not really healthy.
Yeah.
If you're eating genetically modified food, that's not really healthy. Or artificial flavor, a bunch of sugars, those aren't healthy things. And most people do,
Well, we did an episode on the Lourdes and Chris show where we were actually talking about, like what's considered healthy medicine or healthy food rather.
Yeah.
And in other countries, they're like, no, that's
not healthy.
So you would find that episode on the lourdesandchrisShow.com, which is where you're going to find all of our former episodes. But we kind of unpacked that a little bit. There are foods that kind of get past the radar here in the United States of America, but in other countries it's completely illegal and banned because they know it's not good for you. For example, did you know, and this is a little bit off topic, I apologize. Did you know that the peeps that are out there now for Easter consumption, those marshmallow treats.
Yes.
So I guess we'll bleep my peeps. Don't bleep the peeps.
Candy. It's still the same.
The marshmallow things that look like chicks, guys. Those have red dye 3 or red dye 30 or one of those.
One of those, yeah.
And a lot of the variances do, and so known in other countries to in fact cause cancer, carcinogenic. And so you're giving it to your kids for Easter.
But if you think about it, everything we're doing, if we really pay attention, everything we're doing, there's a rise in everything, even down to children, which was at a time where that was rare.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just typical. Kids are always getting sick. They just get sick.
Well, there's hospitals devoted to children now that are sick in that way.
But if you look at the overall, which is what naturopathic doctors and naturopathic practitioners do, they look at the whole picture.
Right.
You look, because you're a whole body. You're not a heart or a lung. You're the whole thing.
I think the thing that I find most refreshing about the naturopathic approach is that there first has to be an understanding, and this has to be clear to everybody. Our bodies are built perfectly. We're not an accident. We're not,
it didn't just happen.
We're not just some sort of a hiccup in a bigger picture of things. There's a grand design at work here, and it's undeniable to the level of perfection that our bodies are designed. If you remember as a kid, when you fall or something, get a scrape, a bump, or bruise, your body would heal.
Yeah, it stayed bruised forever.
And
it wasn't a permanent bruise, and it wasn't a permanent scrape, and you had the energy. I mean, even adults. I remember as a kid, as an adult, my parents had a lot of energy.
Sure.
There was no that it's because I was a kid and they weren't, because they had energy.
Right.
They were always on. They were working. They would come home. They would cook and they would clean and they would run and they would take us and do. They were always, and they would go visit their friends. And I never saw them exhausted.
Right. No, that's a good point that you bring up, because you're right. As a child, the memory of my parents were, they would go to work and they'd come home and still, carry out the rest of the days for the activities and,
And they didn't look exhausted.
no,
You
no,
know,
but-
they didn't go like, I'm just doing my thing. Now parents look tired.
Well, not just that, but okay, so let's take that for example. If you go to your family doctor, who's got an MD and that fancy thing up on the wall, and say, hey, I've got this thing where I've just been exhausted lately. I'm just so tired. They'll tell you, yeah, it's pretty common for folks your age. They might have some anecdotal advice like more bees or whatever, but
Or rest more.
rest more, but it's like what I mean by anecdotal is it's like they didn't really study it. They just kind of heard from somebody, really? Oh, okay, peer reviewed. Yeah, good for that. Yeah, we'll recommend that for people.
Yeah.
Then they don't go the next step, which a naturopathic doctor would. A naturopathic doctor might suggest, well, maybe you're low on B vitamins. We need to look into that.
Yeah.
But they would also suggest like the natural sources to find the B vitamins.
Yes.
The best way to get that B vitamins into your body. See, this is stuff that just
Different
isn't
things
a
that-
thought. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's the difference between the two is one suppresses just the symptoms, which doesn't really take care of why it happened in the first place, while the other one looks and searches why it happened, addresses that cause so that it works with the body to get back to health,
Right.
which then strengthens the body, strengthens the immune system. And then that's one thing that you already went over and you're getting healthier. When you don't really address the problem and you're just kind of covering it with, little Band-Aids here and there,
Mhm.
because you never fixed it, it just perpetuates. Things get worse. Now you have all
Well,
these second.
I want to say a few episodes ago, you made a really valid point when you said that if people tend to think, oh, I started with one ibuprofen and that was brilliant, and after 2 days after a few days I had to start taking 2 ibuprofen because one just wasn't cutting it. So I must be getting some sort of a resistance. I must be building an immunity to that ibuprofen. It just doesn't affect me like it did. And you had pointed out really, really astutely that it's more likely things have gotten worse and things continue to get worse because you're not really addressing what the problem was. You're just masking what the problem was. And that
Well,
is,
remember when we had that conversation, that one episode with Dr. Newsom, and he talked about pain medications, right? You have something going on, there's all this inflammation, you take medication to suppress it, that inflammation fluid is building up, but it's keeping the pain away, but then when it's already building and building and building, so so now when that medication,
breaks,
that pain medication stops working, now it's coming in full force, even worse, because it's got so much backup. When you do things that are natural, that work naturally with the pain, what it does, it lets the flow go through, it does its thing, the inflammation starts subsiding, right? Because you're working towards that, right? Like you're taking things that are anti-inflammatory, but with nature. So that way the pain goes away, because most of the time you have pain, well, sometimes because you fell and you hit yourself, well, obviously. But normally, there's pain there, there's a lot of inflammation, a lot of toxins that are causing the inflammation to be there. And because you're not removing the toxin, because you're not removing the root cause, it just keeps building.
on a personal note, when Lourdes started taking these courses to be a naturopathic practitioner, it's funny because she knew all that stuff already. It was funny because she'd go, oh yeah, I know. I knew that too. Oh, sure, that makes sense. I've learned that too. Yeah. Oh no, I learned that as well. And it just seemed to be the theme as you were looking through all the different
But
things.
I will say,
like, yep.
I do enjoy it because it gives me a lot of the terminology.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It
But
does some vocabulary to it that you didn't have
Yeah.
before.
But
What
I
I'm saying
knew,
is-
yeah.
And this goes back to what we were saying all along. Like it's your responsibility to know your own body, and it's your responsibility to educate yourself. And Lourdes is the prime example of that. Like we said, you can go to a medical library or other sources, herbs and whatever, and you can learn all there is to learn about this stuff. And you don't need a degree to know it. You just know it.
Yeah, you only need, honestly, the only time you need a degree or certification or something is because you want to practice that.
Sure.
If you just want to know the information so you can, be educated in what's going on with your body or what's going on around you, so you can avoid or prevent or figure out how to fix that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing with the car. There was a time, and I remember way back when I was really, really little. And every time I had a car issue, I always had to run to somebody. And I so desperately thought, man, I should just go get an education on that. I'm not going to become a mechanic, but then I don't have to go to a mechanic to fix my car.
Right.
It would just be cheaper, because I know a lot of times, you know, especially when I met that one guy who I went to one place and they're like, oh, it's gonna be, you know,
That's right.
$1,100 because it's the motor mount and blah blah blah. And I was like, ooh, it made it sound like a real big
Yeah,
deal.
the motor mount. Dun dun dun.
Yeah. And then I go down an alley and my car's like, it's just shaking like it's crazy
Because of the motor mount.
because of the motor mount. And the guy that I just met, and you know, and he came out and he's a mechanic, and he said, oh, you know, that's the motor mount and everything. I can fix that. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's the motor mount because I was already told.
Yeah.
They don't have the money for that. And he goes, well, it's only going to cost like $5 and it's just a little thing with one screw. I'm like, wait, what? So here I had one guy, you know, the allopathic doctor,
That's good
who
enough.
made this big old, you know, it's this. And you're like, oh my goodness, it's that.
Yeah.
You know, it's your heart. Oh my gosh, it's my heart. And, you know, and then he goes, yeah, I just, this little screw and then it just fixes it. And, you know, give me $5. You know, and it's like, it's your heart. Oh my gosh, my heart. You need surgery. He's like, no, you actually, if you just, you know, do some celery juice and you start doing some, you know, cinnamon, you start kind of get these concoctions together,
Sure.
and cut this out and this out, it'll be fine. It'll start
Yeah,
fixing
just
itself. You're like,
shift
wait,
your-
what?
shift your diet.
Yeah. It's like, once you get to know the difference, that's exactly what it is. So when it comes to trying to figure something out, you can always learn.
Mhm.
You don't have to go, it's going to take me forever. No, it's going to take them forever, because there's specific things that they make them go through to make sure you're nice and trained to do it their way, because if not, you lose your license.
Well, right, and that's you know, and that's, so to your point. After you and I got together, we had some cars, and every one of those cars that were a little older and, you know, not quite top of the line. We had a Chilton's manual for all of those vehicles, and
Yeah.
if it came to something weird, we would change the starter ourselves, or we would figure out.
With the belt,
Yeah,
with
the
the,
belt,
alternator belt.
Yep, we did that. We also a couple thermostats.
Yep.
You know, this is, look, we're not mechanics, but this is just something.
Yeah, but we
Lourdes
knew
does.
how to do those simple
You know,
things.
to be fair,
Tune up. spark
Lourdes
plugs.
has little patience with me when it comes to watching me do something. She even shoos me away and says, "I got it, just let me do it." And I used to resist that. Now I kind of go, people, little, and then she goes, "Let me do it." I go, "Oh no, I guess you're gonna have to do it now." So yeah, Lourdes is definitely a hands-on kind of gal. She always has been when it comes to these things. But it's a really good analogy. Like look, we just got out of cold and flu season, right?
Yep.
People had the scratchy throat and
Yep.
stuff like that. And the concoction that we were using was the garlic that was
Yeah. You just take a glass jar. You don't want plastic. You use a glass jar,
Mhm.
and you know, with a nice tight lid.
Sure.
And you put like, I don't know, we put like 2 big packets of peeled garlic.
Yeah.
Put a whole bunch of that in there, and then we just drown it with raw honey.
Yep.
Organic raw honey.
Yep.
And then we seal that sucker up and we let it sit for a few days.
Yeah, after about a week, it's all bubbly and gross looking, but doesn't taste so bad. And honestly, just knocks out whatever.
Yeah. And it lasts. It's not like you go, oh, how long does it last? We have it for months,
Yep.
and it's still good,
Yeah,
because
and so-
honey is antibacterial.
And what I mean to say is that was like one of those situations where, what did we have? We had something going on after we traveled. It was like feeling scratchy throat and stuff. So one of those
Sooner that-
situations where Lourdes was like, well, what would work with that? Let's figure this out. So she did her research. She looked up the Chilton's manual, whatever you want to call it, and she found this concoction, and she said this should work for that, and she went
And it
with
did.
and it did. And so that's the difference of the approaches. Now, at that point, we're still just kind of addressing the problem specifically, but with what we found later is that in order to take care of the root cause of all the situation, there are products out there that would assist you with that as well. And
But this is another thing too, to be fair, the reason why it worked wasn't because it suppressed the symptoms, is because it was
you're
addressing
right,
the
of
issue.
course,
Because honey and garlic is like nature's antibiotic,
right.
right? It's got compounds that actually help the body heal. Honey is antiviral, antibacterial. Everybody knows this. So you're putting things in together, this concoction that you're putting into your body. And then if there's an issue there, it's giving it what it needs so that the body starts healing, because you're giving it the, you know, like even honey has got like all these vitamins and minerals and nutrients in it, right? So you're taking these things and the body needs that.
Yeah.
So it starts getting rid of the issue because you put in
No,
what it needs because you had an issue.
I
But it is
misspoke.
suppressed. Yeah,
I
it's
wasn't
suppressing.
being very clear. What I mean to say is the correct thing to say is, why was my immune system so low that
Right.
could allow me to get this in the first place,
Yeah.
which would be the next step in that thought process. We certainly want to take care of what was going on, and she's right. And by the way, ask me what side effects came of that.
None. We
None.
just got, well, it was,
I
we
smell
got
garlic,
better.
and it smelled like garlic.
Yeah, but we got better.
Yeah.
You don't smell too garlicky though when it's with the honey.
No, you're right. It wasn't
Yeah.
so bad. It's
But
when
that-
she had me
yeah.
crunch it raw.
And you eat it, yeah, and you drink it down with celery
And I'm like,
juice. Which that,
"Hi,
but it really knocks things out.
how are you?" And then flowers wilt. Remember the cartoon with the book? So
But the thing is, it's like, so what we did is we go, this is going on. What's good for that? Well, this gets rid of junk that's in the body causing it. So we'll get in at the same time start healing it. So let's take this to get the junk out to have it heal itself.
And
Because
then
the body heals itself.
at the same time, we say, well, why did this catch up to us in the first place? Why was our immune system in such a place where it could be compromised to allow this to happen? And those are the real questions. Those are the real questions that, by the way, a naturopathic doctor would approach with you. Well, okay, they would say, sure, you've got this thing, let's address it. Dr. Newsom, for example, I mean, he's got several degrees, I think, with a medical degree and a chiropractic degree. So he's got several. He's one of the smartest guys you're ever going to meet.
It's
But
extraordinary.
yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is that he will say, well, you've got the stories he told us. If you watch the previous episodes, you hear these stories. They're very riveting. But basically, these people that were really super sick, he was fixing that, yes, but at the same time saying, why? Why did you get super sick in this way in the first place? And that's
It's important because sometimes it's like, oh, I eat pretty healthy, but at night I have donuts. Or I eat pretty healthy, but every day I have, a beer. I eat pretty healthy, but and you fill in the blank. There's a lot of things. Or I have these bag of chips every day. There's something that you're putting in that's breaking down the body, or that's got a toxin.
I eat healthy cereal every morning, but I pour beer in it instead of milk. I'm not sure if you can do that.
No,
Maybe you're out there.
unless you're doing like
If
hot
you're out there,
oatmeal and
don't
stuff
do
like
that.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's if you're putting stuff, and never mind that you're exposed to things in the air.
I was just going to say the environmental aspect of it is so incredibly huge right now that people need to be aware of it. I mean, it's all around us. All these
So what are you doing to get those toxins out?
right, 100%. You're right, and that's the way. This is the new thought process that has to be in everybody's mind. We need to get away from thinking that, oh, we're fine. We need to start being proactively making sure that we're fine by getting to
Well, take certain things that that are natural, that are healthy, that work with your body. They're
Don't cause side effects.
Yeah, no side effect. It's all healthy, come from nature, that is at its highest quality, that when it's going in your body, it's constantly taking out and replacing, right? Taking out the junk, putting in what you need, all at the same time. When you're doing that, if your body's always getting rid of the junk and always keeping it clean and putting the right things in, it's almost impossible to get ill.
Right, 100%. And if you're whole and complete with your diet and you're whole and complete with your stress levels, I mean, we're going to talk about emotions probably in the next episode and how that affects you. But your emotions play a very important factor in what's going on with your health, and people overlook it a lot. And so this is stressful times. There's a lot going on out there. So make sure you're checking with your mental health as well. But definitely make sure you're putting these products in your body. The ones that we use that are whole and complete and actually do a phenomenal job are the root brands, especially in particular the Trinity that we use.
Yeah, which is so funny because forever, even in our, because we represent Create Option C, because that is our brand.
Yes.
And Create Option C is all about finding the issue and taking care of the root cause, and then nourishing, balancing, and cleansing the body always.
Yes.
Mind, body, and spirit.
Right.
And it's funny because then we find this product at the highest quality.
Yeah, that does just that.
It's like it does exactly nourish, balance, and cleanse. We're like,
Right, and high
at the same time,
high vibration.
and high vibrational. It's like, so you're getting these high vibrational, bioavailable, so it's going in like it should, instead of like the body's gonna do all this. No, it's just going in and doing the job, but it's doing it simultaneously, which is very important. You simultaneously have to remove and place. Get the junk out and replace. You don't want something else to go back in there. So it put in what it is.
Yeah, we have heard so many stories of people who had a lifelong calamity that they were dealing with, and suddenly they're fine and they're there. I mean, Lourdes has been sharing some of those stories, but it's rewarding to hear from these people and just go, yes, I'm so thrilled that you are seeing results like this to get ahead of what has burdened you for so long.
Oh yeah, and it's so funny because it's like they're seeing a switch change really fast.
Sure.
And that's not even get me to get them to,
Well,
to change their whole diet.
and we know that's because when your body is starved for the right nutrients, your body is starved for the right whatever it needs, it reacts quickly.
Yeah.
When Lourdes got to Mexico, she was very near death. There's no secret there. She was days away from dying. One of the first things they did was they gave her paranutrition, which was nutritional value right into her bloodstream. And within a day, she was alert and able to speak,
quick.
and it was quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was
because her
funny.
body was so starved for it.
And then it's like, oh,
finally
I need it.
yes.
Yeah. It's almost like when you see, a grapevine and the grapes haven't had water and they're just shriveled up.
Great analogy.
And then you go and you take like a big old bucket of water and you just pour it in there and just drench it with water. The next day they're just
Yes.
grapes are plump again.
Yeah.
But it's exactly what it is. It's like when your body's just starved, even when I was going here, they weren't giving me anything to nourish myself to that level. They'd give me things that where I would swell up and have more
No,
problems.
you
but
would.
yeah, but it didn't give me anything that was nourishing. Oh, this has got, whatever. And it's like, why am I swelling up like a balloon? But then I go over there and it was like they just nourished me back to life.
Yep.
And it was just amazing.
Yeah, 100%. So to learn more about those products, you just go to the Root Brands / Lourdes and Chris.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, so just go to therootbrands.com. You forgot .com, yeah. So therootbrands.com / Lourdes and Chris. It is part of our show's name. It is an affiliate. It's our way of helping people get better, but at the same time, it helps our show.
Yeah.
So, and we won't do anything
Right.
that we don't use ourselves, and we know for a fact it's at that quality.
Yeah.
If I don't see changes, I don't use it. I don't care what if they can give me $1 million, I'm not taking it.
Right on.
Honestly, I won't.
Our integrity means more.
Way
than that.
more. To make someone get the importance of health and showing it by showing them the results, that's way more important than any dollar. Period.
No, I agree.
So, so you just go to therootbrands.com / Lourdes and Chris.
Yep.
We do the Trinity, but I will tell people that if they can't do the Trinity, if they can't do the 3 things that we do, because we do it faithfully, that's how we start our morning.
Yep.
On an empty stomach. Yep. Boom, we take our drops, we take our capsule, and we do our sachet, what do you call it? Sachet of Restore. But I always say, if I had to pick one, and I couldn't do anything else, it would be Clean Slate.
100%.
I tell people, take Clean Slate. If you can't do any of them and you can only do one, then that would be the one, because that one does exactly that. It's a clean slate. It cleans things out and it's bioavailable, but it removes the toxins and heavy metals and bacteria and things that are causing problems. But at the exact same moment, it's putting in the trace minerals and stuff that you need. It's got actually over 70 plus trace minerals inside there.
Yeah.
So you're getting what you need at the precise time. And that's why people see so many differences, no matter what health issue they're dealing with.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
And so we've mentioned it a few times, where we actually have a website, the lourdesandchrisshow.com, where you can see all the previous episodes and get on there. There's also a way to get to Root Brands from there as well. But also a page of the products that we do use and that we recommend for folks to use. Get on there, look around. It's kind of fun to navigate. And while you're on there, you can drop us a line and say hello. We absolutely love when you do that. But we're also very much out there on social media. We're on all these different platforms.
Right here.
All the above.
And the beauty about these platforms that you can also click, share, and subscribe.
Like full share.
Yep, and share with others, because you don't know who needs to know the thing you know or that you saw.
Yep, you
Right?
don't know who needs to know the thing that you know or that you saw.
And I love our new landing page that we have, which is called Detox with LourdesandChris.com.
Mhm.
So if you go to Detox with LourdesandChris.com, you'll see all the Root Brands and stuff there. Yeah, and it gives you like videos to watch. It breaks down the actual products
Yes.
and what it does, because it is important to educate yourself on why it's so good and why people see the the difference in their health.
And as always, we're trying to evolve this show into something bigger and better and brighter every week, and that's why we're kind of stretching our thespian muscles, like you saw at the beginning of the episode. Be doing more of that stuff, do some parroting, have some fun with it.
Yeah.
So look for more of that. We're going to do some what we call what do we call it? Our short
Short
sweets. Short and sweets. So be looking for the short and sweets available on those different social medias that you saw before. Short and sweets would just be like a a smaller video just discussing a single topic that we just feel like needs to be addressed. Got a few of those in the works right now, so look for those. But as always, we look forward to seeing you every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because it is amazing that we do this, because it's so fulfilling to know that we are actually helping people, and you know, this is clearly what we've been here.
Well, I mean, how many people we've gotten to talk with, share our information.
Mhm.
They go on there, they get on the regimen. And, you know, a couple of them just 2 weeks. Well, there was one lady in 2 days, she saw a difference.
Yes, that's right.
And then she shared it with someone else, and they immediately saw a difference within a day. And I had another friend who her daughter got on it, and a few hours later, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I feel the difference."
Yeah.
So these are just, you know, people. I mean, one with MS, and then 2 weeks short, and because she couldn't even squat down, she had no feeling to her feet. She was, you know, body ached really bad. She was just in really, really bad shape. Yeah, no person. But this person who has MS, for the first time, just doing a clean slate.
Yes.
2 weeks on clean slate, could squat down, went with her daughter to, actually did a little video on it.
Yeah.
Where we kept her privacy so you can hear her, but you don't see her. And she spent 4 hours walking and doing all these steps with her daughter that she couldn't do for over a year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So that's what it's all about. That's what we're all about. So we'll see you every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because that's when the next episode drops. So that'll be true next week as well. But thank you for joining us tonight. And as always, we absolutely love and appreciate you. And, you know, drop us a line. Let us know what you want to talk about. The last few episodes we have been brought to you by people who said, "Hey, I want to know more about fill in the blank." So that's what we're about too. So we love you. We appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you in about a week.